Hey everyone, and welcome. We're the You Need Faith in Jesus team, and today we're going to dive deep into one of the most honest and frankly one of the most relatable Psalms in the entire Bible, Psalm 39. So let's jump right in. Have you ever had one of those moments where you just stop and you look at your life and everything just feels so temporary, so fragile, almost like a puff of smoke that's here 1 second and just gone the next? It's a feeling we all get, and it can be really unsettling. Well, if you've ever felt that way, listen. You are in very good company. King David himself, the giant slayer, the powerful king of Israel, he wrestled with that exact same feeling. And he poured all of that raw emotion into Psalm 39, which comes from a part of the Psalms that's known for being incredibly personal. Now, David's journey in this psalm, it doesn't start with a big shout or a complaint. It actually starts with the struggle to stay quiet. He's hurting, he's surrounded by wickedness, and his first instinct is to just bottle it all up inside. He says, "I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue." He's determined, right? He decides he's going to put a bridle on his mouth. It's like he's trying to hit the mute button on himself, especially with his enemies watching, just waiting for him to mess up. But as we're about to see, you can only keep that kind of pressure inside for so long. And yeah, that pressure just becomes too much. But when David finally does break his silence, notice who he talks to. He doesn't go complain to his friends or lash out at his enemies. Nope. He turns directly to God and just unleashes this wave of raw, unfiltered honesty. And just listen to the heart in this prayer. "Behold, thou hast made my days as an handbreadth, and mine age is as nothing before thee." A handbreadth. Think about that. The width of your hand. That's how small his life feels compared to God's eternity. And this leads him to this incredible conclusion. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity. Now that word vanity is so important here. So when David says vanity, the original Hebrew word is havel. And this is fascinating. It doesn't really mean worthless like we might think today. It means a vapor, a puff of air, a breath. You know that mist you see on a cold morning? It's there, it's real, but the second you try to grab it, it's gone. David isn't saying life is meaningless. He's saying it's incredibly short and fragile. And he looks around and he sees this hebel, this vapor-like quality everywhere. He says, "Surely every man walketh in a vain show. He heaps up riches and knoweth not who shall gather them." He sees people rushing around, totally stressed out, piling up wealth like it's going to last forever. But David sees the truth. It's an illusion. It's all just a vapor, and you have no idea who's going to end up with it all anyway. Okay, so right here, after this completely raw and honest look at how short life is, when it feels like he's hit absolute rock bottom, the entire psalm makes a hard turn. It pivots on one single powerful verse. David stops staring at the problem, his short life, and he lifts his eyes to the only possible solution. This is the moment everything changes. And here it is. After laying it all out, he asks this question, almost to himself. "And now, Lord, what wait I for?" What am I even waiting for? In the middle of all this vapor, where can I possibly find something solid? And the answer is immediate, and it's absolute. My hope is in thee. Not in my circumstances, not in my stuff, not in myself. My hope is in you, God. Wow. And that one realization, it just reframes everything. This is so huge, because when he places his hope in the eternal God instead of in temporary things, it completely transforms his prayer. It stops being a lament about how little time he has, and it becomes a prayer about how to use the time he has left. This slide just shows that shift perfectly. See, the old question that was haunting him was, why is life so short and meaningless? But once his hope is anchored, the question changes to, okay, Lord, how can I live my remaining days for you? It is a total 180 in his perspective, and it's all because he put his hope in the one thing that isn't a vapor, God himself. So David's journey here isn't just some ancient story for us to admire. It's actually a roadmap. We can take his experience and boil it down into 3 practical steps that we can use when we feel that weight of life's shortness closing in on us. So step 1, acknowledge the feeling. Don't try to stuff it down. Just be completely honest with God, just like David was. Tell him you're scared, you're frustrated, whatever it is. Step 2, anchor your hope. You have to actually say it, declare it out loud to God, "My hope is in you." That simple act shifts your focus from the problem to the provider. And finally, step 3, adjust your prayer. Let that new anchor of hope change what you ask for. You move from asking, "Why is this happening?" to asking, "Lord, how can I live for you right here in this moment?" So that really leaves us with a big question to chew on, doesn't it? If your hope is truly, and I mean truly, in God, how does that change the way you see your fleeting days? How does knowing you have an eternal anchor give purpose and meaning to every single moment that feels like just a vapor? This has been a devotional from the You Need Faith in Jesus team. We really hope you'll take a moment today to reflect on this, maybe even read Psalm 39 for yourself, and just let its truth sink in and anchor your hope. Thanks for joining us.